Give me your greatest Joel Embiid story. What's the story? I mean, listen, he's got that personality that just lights up a room. But you know, when you recruited him, I remember Rick Pitino was the first one who told me when you got him, he's like, Joel Embiid is and this was early when he wasn't even really playing for that Florida team. He was like, he's the best player in the country in this class. Yeah. I'm like, now, Rick, you never know what you're going to get. Like, Rick can change his mind 42 times within an hour. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. What's your favorite Joel story?
Well, I don't know, but the dude is at the time. Well, I hope he's changed. I think he has. He says he has.
Yeah.
But all he lived on Nutella. That's all he ate.
Really?
Yeah. Like he would eat the wives liked him so much, and he knew how to kiss up to them and make them all love him and everything. And he was pretty smooth, and so they make him anything he wanted. So brownies, all that stuff all the time. That's all he ate. Terrible nutrition habits. We tried to change him, but I don't know that we did that much. But he would go to a local bar. Bar owners would tell me, go to a local bar and have 17 Shirley Temples at the bar, and didn't drink, just hang out, buy everybody, whatever. But he'd have Shirley Temples everywhere, but he would tell people, part of his tribal initiation was wrestling a lion, stuff like that, and people would actually buy it. But I will tell you this: the very first practice we had with him. We had Tari Black was a good player. He played in the league for a while. Really He's still playing. Yeah. And he was a fourth year senior, graduating 3 years from Memphis. And so he came, and so he's a grad transfer, and Joel's in. And, we thought those two would kind of probably, kind of share minutes, plus one of them could play the four at the same time. So get them both about 25 a game, maybe something like that. And first practice, Joel's just getting his butt kicked, and Tari just spinning him around like a rag doll. And Joel came up to me after practice. He said, "Coach, you're going to have to redshirt me, aren't you?" I said, "No, Joel, you're going to be the first pick in the draft this year." But that was kind of how he was. And I'd say Robbie will appreciate this. We run a lot of ball screen stuff, and this is the first week he's here, and I'm just amazed at his intellect. I'm amazed at his intellect. I'm amazed at all these international kids' intellect. Here we are thinking we're bright, and they speak 4 languages. But it just amazes me. But there was a loose ball going in the backcourt, and Joel's man went for the loose ball. And you got a player coming downhill now that's being guarded by his man that went for the loose ball too. So the 5-man was out of play, and Joe immediately just leaves the top of the key or free throw line area and goes and set a butt screen at half court. And I knew why he did it. And I said, "Joe, explain to everybody why you did that." He said, "Coach, my defender was behind him. There's no way anybody could help." For a guy that just picked up basketball and been playing for a year, he kind of got it he picked up pretty quick.
Coach, I played with Andrew Wiggins his rookie year, and Andrew is like the nicest, most
sweetest.
Back.
Yeah.
What was it like coaching him and trying to bring out like the best in him? Because I know that other people have really struggled. Great guy,
first of all, people forget what a I don't want to say great, but what a really good career he's had. The dude's averaging over 20 for his career. Totally. And this, Andrew would say stuff like this. You Americans, you just don't get it just because Canadians are polite, because he'll say pardon me or excuse me, every time, he knocks somebody down, excuse me. Well, he didn't do that often, but he was the nicest, sweetest. The thing that I used to do with Andrew is try to piss him off a lot. And he had a trigger that you could get to. He had a trigger that after Marcus Smart and those guys at Oklahoma State beat us, he had a trigger to get to that he can come back and get 30. He had a trigger they can get to when he went to West Virginia and he's playing, Huntington Prep is close to Morgantown. And so his Huntington Prep people would come to, not Huntington Prep, was it Huntington Prep? Geez, I forgot. I think it was. It was Huntington Prep. Okay, so that's in Huntington Prep is where I guess it's in Huntington, West Virginia. Is that not right? Where Marshall
is. That would make sense.
Yeah. So where Marshall is, and so that's not far from Morgantown. So he had all his people come back to that game, and you know what? He goes and gets 41. But there were the games where he would just fit in and float and do all that stuff, and he was
Bill, even the Stanford game that you guys lost in the second round of the tournament, he had like 6 points, didn't he?
Yeah, but I don't remember probably, but he was the most fun, sweetest kid to coach, but he drove me a little nuts because I couldn't get him consistently to have that assassin mentality.
He would do practice, coach, where you would be like, I've never seen anybody like jump stop and jump away from the rim and just hammer it across. I mean, like shit where you're like, I've never seen anybody do that before. He's so athletic. He
made a play that against K-State, and this may not mean much, but he ran down and missed a shot. This is right before overtime. We were down 2. He came down and he missed a shot, and his right foot on the right side of the rim landed out of bounds. Okay? Landed out of bounds. And without a step, he landed, didn't even squat, didn't have to squat to jump, as you know. He landed, and then he tipped it in on the left side of the rim, back in front of the rim, without a step or anything. I mean, it was just like boom, boom. And it's like, oh my God. I mean, it was just, those are things you can't coach, and you never will be able to. But he could do some things like that you would just go, oh my gosh, he's different. He's different now.
Yeah. His rookie year, we were posting him against LeBron, and he was scoring. And it was like, man, there's nobody. It was like a sold out game, only sold out game of the year at the Target Center, because we suck so bad. And the Heat are in town, or he's on the Cavs now. Cavs are in town, and Andrew's like, man, he's posting them and hitting fadeaways over him. It's like, damn, like there's not many people that do this to LeBron James. Like,
but see, there was something about that. I could be wrong on this. I don't believe LeBron ever acknowledged him as number 1 pick when LeBron went to.
There was definitely. You're right.
And so the whole thing was it was a great trade for Cavaliers. I'm not saying anything negative.
Sure.
But if he needs something like that he was traded for Kevin Love, because the appearance was LeBron wanted to play with Kevin Love and not Andrew.
Right.
And the appearance was, whether that's true or not, that's the appearance. And so he always played good against Cleveland, didn't he?
Yeah, the 2 games. I mean, we were in the West, but the 2 games we played him, he played really well. He was definitely, he had something extra there on those games.
Yeah, but he's one of those guys that needs that. I'm really hopeful with the Warriors. He can kind of settle in as that. He would be the third option. Which if he's their third option, that would be fantastic. But I guess
talent-wise, that's sick. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but since Clay's got hurt, but I think he'll have he'll get his 20 and the other thing about us, Robbie, he was our best defender, but I don't know that he's got a reputation of being a good defender at your level. But for us, he was. I mean, I thought he was the best defender in the league as far as guarding his man. Now, he'd never run through a pass. He'd never do those things. But just as far as locking in, I thought he took a lot of pride in that back in college.